So today we are going to be running through Moltbot because Clawdbot is just rebranded to Moltbot. Like you can see right here, as you can see, the open source Clawdbot powered by Anthropic's Claude models and running locally on Mac, Windows, or Linux, switched to Moltbot following a trademark concern from Anthropic over the similar Claude name. So you can see here they've actually switched over and they've molted. And as you can see here, Clawdbot is now Moltbot, and Claude is now called Multi. All right. So they've kept the same icon and everything else. It's just they've switched over to Moltbot. I think they had some trademark issues with Anthropic. Obviously, it sounded very similar. And you can see the updates right here. They've also announced a few updates for Clawdbot as well, which I'll cover in a second. So if you've not seen it already, let's go over to GitHub and we can look at the latest changelog over here. But if you're not familiar with Moltbot, let me talk you through exactly what it can do. So here's an example. Before I actually went on to this live stream, I said create a voice note about Moltbot, an AI avatar video, plus a YouTube thumbnail, plus publish a blog post about Moltbot AI assistant right here. And you see it started generating the Hey Gen video using the AI avatar and actually created a voice note in my voice, as you can see right here. Let's play this back. What's up, everyone? Let me tell you about Moltbot, the AI assistant that's absolutely changing the game. So what is Moltbot? It's a personal AI assistant that actually does things, not just chatting. We're talking about clearing your inbox, sending emails, managing your calendar, even checking you in for flights. And the crazy part, it all happens through WhatsApp, Telegram, or whatever chat app you already use. Here's what makes it insane. Your context and skills live on your computer, not some walled garden. It's completely open source. So you can see here that basically it's created the voice note about Moltbot. Also generated this YouTube thumbnail, like you can see as well. So it's using Nano Banana and Google's API to generate that directly. And the actual thumbnail looks really cool. I mean, literally all we said was create a thumbnail. And it generated something that honestly was number one, faster, but number two, better than what most of my team could produce if they were thumbnail designers, right? And then on top of that, we've also got the blog post right here. So this is the blog post for using Moltbot. TimeWatch says, does Telegram need to be the main interface for using Moltbot? It doesn't need to be. No, not at all. I mean, you can use a UI. So you can use the inbuilt UI with Clawdbot, which is hosted locally. The other option that you have is, yes, you can use Telegram, but you can also use Discord, you can use WhatsApp. I think they just released a new line update as well. Let me have a look here. We should have the changelog. Let's have a look at the changelog MD here. All right, so we can see the new changes on 26th. So you can see here, rebrand. They renamed the NPM package CLI to Moltbot, as you can see. And then I think what they've also done here is they added a Line channel guide, right? So you can actually connect this even to Line, which is like an Asian like chat app. As you can see, they've also set up a web UI too. Yeah, and all this is set up and ready to go. So you can use Telegram, Slack, you can use macOS, whatever you want, right? Doesn't have to be Telegram at all. And yeah, you can see it actually went straight to my WordPress website. So earlier I actually gave Moltbot my login details to WordPress, and then it's published a bunch of blogs to my site. And literally all I have to do is like go inside Telegram, tell it what I want to create, like you can see over here. So this is a blog post, and then we can generate this pretty quickly, as you can see. And it formats it really nicely. So it does a nice title. So it says Moltbot, the AI assistant that actually does things, 2026 review, blah, blah, blah. It's formatted it nicely, it's straight to the point. It's got some nice bullet points, some quotes of people using it, some real use cases, and even the link. And then also here's a cool thing. It funnels traffic to our funnels, like you can see right here in the blog post. Now, if we want to publish this, all we do is we hit publish, like so. And then boom, we've got a blog post ready to go that Moltbot just created on the fly, right? Literally from a Telegram message. So it's pretty crazy what Moltbot can do. It's super powerful. I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful it actually is. I mean, it can control your browser as well. So, for example, I can toggle this on, switch this on, as you can see, right? And then we can say, okay, search Google for the latest AI news. Or, I don't know, do a Google search for Julian Goldie, something like that, right? Research me. And what we can do is just say, okay, go to use my Chrome extension to do this. And by the way, whilst we're waiting for that to load, if you haven't checked it out already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This comes with all the setup notes plus a 3-hour course on how to use Moltbot. So if you want to learn exactly how it works, how to use it, etc., you can learn that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to aiprofitboardroom.com. You can also DM me if you have any questions, and you can see Moltbot has Google Julian Goldie over here. Right, so it was pretty quick to do that, and did it directly from Telegram, which is pretty insane as well. By the way, if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to ask. I've spent a lot of time testing Moltbot, and it's by far the best update that I've seen this year, genuinely. I mean, it's one of the few ones that can actually like go off and just do stuff in the web, right? Like it's kind of like you can no code this with NA. You know, like NA10 where you have to like set up a workflow and then link all the nodes together and get all your different APIs. Well, using Clawdbot, you can basically do the same thing, but you set it up in minutes, not hours. And also, it's not so much messing around with APIs. Plus, you don't need external service like NA10. So it's super powerful stuff. You can also, there's also a new Ollama update. By the way, you can see here it generated a HeyGen YouTube video. So if we go to Ollama, you can see that they literally just announced 5 hours ago that you can use Ollama and in one command get this up and running with Clawdbot. So the way that this works, if you want to, for example, use this with Clawdbot, is you can set this up without like messing around with any sort of stuff, right? So literally all you do is you install Clawdbot, follow its onboarding, and then from there you can configure it with Ollama. So if you go onto terminal here, and we'll open up a new terminal like so. We'll go to new window, set up Ollama like that. And you can just download the new update for Ollama. And then once you've done that, you can run Ollama launch Clawdbot, and it will look something like this once you set it up, right? And then you can host it locally. And also do the same with open code too. But yeah, that's a pretty cool update that's just come out with Ollama too. All right. So so far, what have we done? Well, we have used Moltbot to control our browser, to create avatar videos, to create voice notes. It can also, for example, use Nana Banana thumbnails. Pretty simple and easy. Now, I'll be interested to see if we can connect this to X as well. So if we go inside the chat here and we're like, okay, can you post to X for me? If so, how Do you just need my login details? And we'll see if this can start using X and Twitter directly using my login details. I'm not going to give it my main account's details. I'll give it a test account, see how it performs. Breakthrough says breakthrough soon. That's what we're talking about. All right, method 1, browser cookies. If you logged into X Chrome, I can grab the auth cookies automatically. Or you can use Bird. So you go to x.com, open DevTools, and then you can go from there. All right, let's try this out. So I'm actually going to log out of my normal X account. And we'll switch to this one. So this is kind of like a secondary account, like you can see. All right. And then from here, what we're going to do is we need to open up DevTools application tab cookies. Okay. So F12 we need to press. Time says, yeah, I'm still scared to give it access to my real accounts. I would agree with you. I wouldn't do anything that you're not comfortable with, right? So if you're not comfortable with something that you're doing, you know, just be careful, and you don't need to do anything you don't need to. So I'm going to open this up now. Obviously, I'm going to have to stop sharing my screen. All right, so we're back on. We're back on. Yeah, so that's one of the ways you can use it. You can use it with X and that sort of thing. You can post to WordPress. Also, one thing that I want to test here is linking it out to Netlify. So what we can do is we can go to Netlify like this, and then we can create a new access token. So I'm just going to do that in the background. And now if we go back to Clawdbot, you can see we've connected to Netlify too, right? So it says done, you got 10 sites ready. Here's a bunch of stuff that you got. You can deploy, you can update existing websites and push new versions, etc. Right? So for example, here, if we're like, okay, here's my community. All right, so we'll grab the details of the AI profit boardroom, like you can see. Then we're going to go back over to Clawdbot and we'll say, here's some info about the AI profit boardroom. Can you create a beautiful modern landing page pointing to it? Make it a direct response sales page. Optimize to convert, right? And basically what we can do here is we can code out the page and then we can deploy it with Netlify as well. So it's pretty crazy what we can do here. So you can see here it says on it, building a high converting direct response page now. David says, I think this is the AI Julian. Clawdbot starting version of Iron Man Jarvis. Yeah, I would agree. I think it is like pretty much there. I mean, like honestly, any task that you give to a virtual assistant, you can now give to Moltbot instead, right? So, for example, publishing WordPress, there's no point giving to an assistant anymore, right? You might as well just give that to Clawdbot, and Clawdbot can post directly on there. And it'll be better formatted and nicer written in the way that you want it using that, right? David says, has anyone here got experience of using the AI Profit Boardroom? So I actually got 115 pages of testimonials right here if you want to check them out. These are all screenshots of people who are, saying thank you or sharing their wins with the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just go to AI Profit Boardroom if you want to sign up, right? AIprofitboardroom.com. The other cool thing about this is you can connect with me. Plus, we have a full training module on Clawdbot, how to set it up, how I've got it working so well, some of the best things that I've set up. I mean, you can see here, we literally in a couple of minutes have set this up to create landing pages and deploy them to Netlify. What I'm going to do over here is we're going to go back over here. I'm going to take a little screenshot. And then we'll copy that, go back to Clawdbot and say, you can only see the code, not the page. Please fix. But yeah, it's pretty insane what you can do. So if you want to learn all this stuff, you want to learn how to implement this for you, check out the AI Profit Boardroom for sure. And it's fixing the deployment right here. So if we go back to Clawdbot now, we should have that ready to go. Let's try it out. Boom, look at that. I mean, this is insane, isn't it? It's just silly at this point. We've got the page ready to go, deployed on a subdomain. This is via Netlify. You can see it's created this beautiful page, as you can see, and it's funneling traffic to the AI Profit Boardroom. I do need to fix a page. We'll do that in a second. All right. And if you do have changes for it, it can like recode it and then improve it, right? So if I go back to the Clawbot now and I say, okay, can you make sure the link goes to this page, right? Also, I want to embed this video from Vimeo. So I'm going to grab the embed code. There we go. Embed this video. And then also add more copy to convince people to sign up. Also, we have 2,200 people in there. Plus we update it daily with live stream coaching with me too. All right, so you can see how we can like just quickly update pages that we create and projects that we create as well. And yeah, it's pretty simple and easy. KK says, I'm a beginner and need to learn Moltbot. Yeah, so check out the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to learn that. Actually, when you sign up, we'll ask you what you want to learn, and then we'll give you some options. So we can guide you on the right journey, and you can just follow what we teach you. So far, what was the hardest task Clawdbot did? I mean, so it could edit videos using remotion, right? That was pretty impressive. It can create avatar videos automatically inside the chat. That was pretty amazing. It can create articles that actually rank on Google. So if we go into Google here and we type in best SEO speakers 2026, right? And then we scroll down, you'll see this article that we created with Clawdbot just 12 hours ago is already ranking on the first page of Google, right? So within 12 hours, we ranked this article on Google using Clawdbot, and it can publish directly to WordPress as well. So pretty insane. Now you can see Clawdbot is responding, and it will start creating that page. It's 6:30 a.m. and I'm here to learn. That's what we're talking about. What a big mess. Now Clawdbot is falling a lot because of the name rebrand. That's one of the reasons I created this live stream today, was just so that people are aware of like what the change is and what's happened. Wait, but Code says, are you on the max plan? Yes, would recommend. But also you can set up Ollama if you haven't seen that already inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you go to the classroom here, then you go to SAP updates, right? You'll find at the bottom, we have a full section on how to set up Ollama. So if you want to steal that from me, steal the setup, then you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom with Clawdbot. We also show you, for example, how to basically build and automate anything using Clawdbot. And also how to set up the AI browser agent too. So if you want to learn all this stuff, we've got loads of trainings inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And also we have a full section here on my case study of how I ranked #1 in 12 hours using Clawdbot AI SEO. So if you want to learn this stuff, check it out inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Just go to the classroom and then SOP updates like you can see. So now we have redeployed the new landing page, and you can see we've actually added the VSL at the top. It's updated the number of members. It's included this section, blah, blah, blah. It's included like the number of calls per week, what it does, etc. And then I think we could actually use Netlify to replace the old version of the AI Profit Boardroom with the new one, right? So just to compare these side by side, this is pretty insane too. Right, so you know, some of you watching will be on, for example, like Manus. You know, you'll be using tools like Manus, which Meta just acquired. This was created with Manus, like you can see, and it's not a bad website, but it's not great. It's not great, right? Now let's have a look at this one. So this is the new website that Clawdbot created, and you see how it just looks more beautiful, it looks more modern, it looks more interesting, it's got more urgency at the top. That is designed much better to convert, right? And we just did it inside Telegram with it with like 1 or 2 prompts. It's pretty insane. Now, if I go back to Telegram here, I should be able to deploy this directly to the old main domain, right? So if I go inside here and I say, okay, now deploy this to aiprofitboardroom.com and replace the old content on that page via Netlify. Right. What it should be able to do is basically deploy this content on aiprofitboardroom.com so that we can update it via the personal access token of Netlify. Now that's really important because we can code, we can build landing pages, we can create lead magnets, we can create squeeze pages, etc., using our custom domains on Netlify, as you can see right here. So it's deploying to AI Profit Boardroom site and adding the custom domain. And I don't have to log into Netlify, I don't have to mess around, etc. And it's just so much more chill, right? You can see it adding the custom domain down here. So if we go on to the Clawdbot now, you can see that we have this all set up, right? So we've got the new landing page deployed to the airprofitboarding.com with the video embedded, blah, blah, blah. If we go to the airprofitboarding.com, you can see it's now added this right here, right? With the VSL and the link. If we click on the link, it takes us straight to the landing page for the AR Profit Boarding. And we've just updated all the information for this particular page. Pretty nice, quick, and simple to set up as well, right? So now if we go onto Google, we type in AR Profit Boarding, we've got this page ranking #1, and it is the page that we just deployed and coded on Telegram using the Netlify personal access token. All right. And that's how fast and easy it is to do this. Okay. I actually need to delete this because I literally just showed it on the live stream. But that's basically how you can use this, right? So you can see here it's all set. New landing page deployed to, blah, blah, blah. Added right here. And that is working pretty nicely indeed. So if you want to learn how to use that as well, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to say, give me a setup guide for linking and coding projects with Netlify in simple language so that anyone can learn how to do this, right? And then you've essentially got like a no-code IDE inside Telegram set up that can basically code and create landing pages for you, even if you don't know how to code or even if you don't really know what you're doing, right? And I would say that's an insane IDE. I've never seen an IDE that you can use like this in such a simple way. All right. So for example, here, I'm going to take this guide. I might just say, write the whole thing in Markdown. And then we can format the guide properly. And if you learn how to create beautiful landing pages like this, you can using Clawdbot, Telegram, and Netlify. Pretty insane. It's great info. Thank you very much. If you want to see anything else in particular, just let me know, because I'm happy to link or test new things for you and show you new crazy stuff. But It is amazing what you can do with this, you know, it's unbelievable. So we've got the whole thing set up right here. Let's copy that. We'll paste that in like so. So we've got the whole page here. There we go. Now we can go back to AR Profit Boardroom. Just go inside the SAP update section here, go to Clawdbot. You'll find the 3-hour course plus a whole setup guide. And if you want to learn how to set up Netlify with Moltbot, you can do it right there. Right. So let's just recap on what we've done so far today, because we have shown a lot of cool stuff, an insane amount really. All right. So let's talk about what have we done with Moltbot. Well, you can publish blog posts directly to WordPress. You can use this as an AI SEO agent, communicate via messaging apps like Telegram, create AI avatar videos, create voice notes in a cloned version of your voice, as we showed earlier. Send emails, organize your calendar. What else we got here? I'll be doing that course today. Yeah, I hope it helps you a lot. I mean, that's what it's designed for, so I'm glad you're going to enjoy that. Yeah, and if anyone else is watching and wants access to the course, join the AR Profit Boardroom. So just to recap, we can publish blog posts directly to WordPress, use this as an AI SEO agent, create avatar videos, create voice notes. You can also create animations. You can host this with Ollama. Can it hook up to Notion? Yes, it can. We can talk about that in a second, actually. We'll do that in a second and hook it up to Notion. I just want to check something quickly. If you go back to Clawdbot, I can't remember whether I've linked Google Drive or not. So I'm just going to say, okay, send a quick email to juliangoldie@gmail.com saying hello. If not, I might have to download the JSON to set that up. We'll see if that's ready or not. Boom. All right. Message delivered. Hello from Clawdbot. Check your inbox. Let's have a look. Yeah, look at that. You can send emails too. So we said hello from Clawdbot from me at juliangoldie.com and just blasted it straight over. Crazy stuff, isn't it? Crazy stuff. All right. And so we can send emails with this. And then also, you know, you can code with no code, deploy landing pages to custom domains, right? As you can see. So let's try hooking it up to Notion. I don't really use Notion that much, but I'm pretty sure I can get my head around how to use Moltbot with Notion. So let's try this out. Log in over here. All right. And then I'm going to go inside Clawdbot and I'll say, okay, how to connect you to Notion. By the way, if anyone else is watching, you want help, you want advice on this stuff, feel free to ask now whilst I'm online. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this stream for, so feel free to ask now whilst I'm online and you've got my attention. That's what I'm here for. All right, so here's what we need to do. We need to go to My Integrations, New Integration, name it, okay, and then get the API key. All right, so I'm just going to do that right now. Obviously, I'm not going to share my screen when I do that. So if we go back to Notion here, we've actually set this up with Clawdbot. All right. So if we go inside here, we can connect Clawdbot. So we could say, okay, create a new page called X with notes about Y, right? Or add a row to the docs database, or search Notion for anything about, right? So if we say, okay, create a new page called Moltbot and tell me everything I need to know about it, right? Or just create a short, beautiful notion about it. What that should do is use Clawdbot to actually create the page, which we'll check out in a second. And once it's done as well, I'll add a guide inside the AI Profit Boardroom on how to connect Notion step by step to Clawdbot. So hopefully this helps you as much as you can. Mohammed says, what are you doing, bro? So right now we're connecting Moltbot directly to Notion so that it can create pages and connect to our database directly, right? So you can see here, for example, we have now created this new page about Moltbot. It did it automatically, did it directly through Telegram, and that is looking pretty beautiful, right? Look how cool that is. That was crazy easy, all right? So what I'm going to do now, I want to show you something else that's pretty interesting here that most people don't know. So if we go inside the chat here and we say, okay, now create a beautiful guide about how to connect Notion to Moltbot, right? But I need you to make sure that it's in Markdown format. Don't add any tables because you can't really have tables directly inside school. And then also add emojis plus explain it in simple third grade language, step by step. And then save this as a skill called guide creation, which I'll use for creating whenever I'm creating guides or what else, SOPs, etc. Right? Okay, so just to recap here, we've linked this to Notion, it's created a page, and then what I want to do is, because we connected it to Moltbot directly and it already understands the process, I'm going to show how to do this and then add the guide to AI profit reporting, right? But the cool thing is, now that it's saved the process, right? So it understands, okay, got to add emojis, got to simplify the language, got to make it look beautiful and easy to read, right? And then I've got to write it in Markdown. Because it knows that, it's going to save it as a skill. And then every time I ask it to create an SOP or a guide inside Telegram, it can do that. And it will remember that, right? Using the context that I've given it. So this is what it's all about. Video side effects says great information. Thank you for sharing. It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. Mind blowing. Yeah, for sure. I want to automate posting on Pinterest using browser use. Is that possible with Clawdbot? Yep, you can do that. You just got to be careful. I would recommend using the API connection instead of using browser use, because I think if you're using browser use, it can probably pick up the IP address, something like that, which I wouldn't recommend, right? Instead, what I'd recommend is using maybe you want to use a proxy or an API. I would go with the API, to be honest. I think that's probably the best way. Or there might be some tools out there designed to help you do that. But yeah, you could certainly do that inside Clawdbot. Sorry, Moltbot. Keep forgetting. All right, so it's saved that now. It's created the guide. We've got the guide right here. Now this page is private, all right? So if you want to learn how to connect Moltbot directly to Notion, let me add the full guide inside the section here. We'll call this Moltbot, formerly known as Clawdbot. Then we'll go down here and add the information for the guide. All right. If your goal was to create automation that answers phone calls and books client visits in the calendar, would you use Clawdbot? If so, how? I would use something like 11 Labs, right? I would use 11 Labs directly. You don't need Clawdbot for that. Clawdbot is good for like giving it tasks, but if it's something like answering a call, Clawdbot could help you set up the automation, but you'd be better off using 11 Labs and then just attaching a phone number to 11 Labs. That's what I actually did in the background. Thank you so much. I will definitely be in the classroom today. Always happy to help. I think that's pretty much it, peeps. All right. So just to recap, what can you do with Moltbot, right? Well, with Moltbot, I've shown you that you can publish blog posts directly to WordPress. You can use this as an AI SEO agent. You can communicate via messaging apps like Telegram. You can create AI avatar videos. You can create voice notes in a cloned version of your voice. You can send emails, organize your calendar, create animations with Remotion, the skill there, host it with Ollama, hook it up to Notion, code with no code, deploy landing pages to custom domains, as we can see on this beautiful page right here. And yeah, it's super powerful. How to set up Clawdbot or Moltbot with NA10. So you would just link the API key directly, right? So you would go inside Clawdbot and you say, okay, what do you need to link you directly to NA10? And then it will actually tell you what you need. And then you would just grab an API key from NA10, right, and connect it directly, so that it can operate it for you. But honestly, like from everything that I've seen, you don't really need NA10 anymore. right? NA10 is pretty simple. But yeah, you would just grab the NA10 URL for your workspace and then the API key, and then boom shakalaka. It can list all the workflows. It can trigger workflows. It can enable and disable stuff. It can get workflow details, and of course also can check the history of stuff as well. All right. So thanks so much. Video Side Effects says thank you. Always happy to help. Thanks everyone for watching. If you want to get a full 3-hour course on Moltbot, if you want to get all my best trainings, I've created a ton of stuff on like AI SEO with Moltbot, how to build and automate anything with Moltbot. You can see these are full step-by-step guides, like you can see. We've also got Moltbot AI Browser Agent 2 and a Moltbot Masterclass, as you can see, right? So everything Moltbot we've got inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and you can get our full guides, like you see, step-by-step today. Steal them from me, learn how to set this up. You can control your browser, control Chrome, you can send emails, deploy websites, and it all worked really, really well today, right? It was insanely good. So this is by far the most powerful technology I've ever seen this year when it comes to AI, and it's available to everyone. It's open source. It's basically what Siri should have been, and it's the closest thing I think we have to Jarvis. The other cool thing I like about it is like it's so easy. You don't need to be technical to use it, right? Like anyone can use it. So feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to aiprofitboardroom.com. Inside here, this is an amazing community of 2,200 members, and you can post any questions you have, get help and support whenever you need it. Get questions answered, etc. You can get support. We've got an amazing community full of positivity. You can see people posting about Clawdbot already, right? So if you want to join and be part of something that feels amazing, then you can. I mean, check out Saman, right? Saman says, hey everyone, so I finally took the plunge and set up my own Moltbot instance, right? Honestly, it feels brilliant to have my own personal assistant. This is a member inside the AI Profit Boardroom, running 24/7, right? So you can see it's not just me that's winning with this stuff. Anyone can win with this, right? The Amar says, what's Moltbot now? So Moltbot is the rebranded version of Clawdbot. So it was previously known as Clawdbot. Now it's been rebranded to Moltbot today. And you can see what he's done here. So for anyone who's wondering, Moltbot is an open source AI assistant that runs on a 24/7 server. You can chat with it through Telegram or WhatsApp. It does actually work. It's not just answering questions. It does real tasks. And then you can see here that he cleared his inbox, scheduled meetings, researched companies, followed up with leads, wrote content, managed his calendar, right? He said that one guy's hooked up GitHub, Google Drive, and Gmail. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, and it can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So he actually grabbed a VPS. You can connect with Saman inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and he got a server, installed it, and then boom shakalaka, gave it an identity. And yeah, you can see all these people using Clawdbot, right? So if you want to be part of a tribe of winners, if you want to be part of a community where we win and we learn and we grow together, join the AI Profit Boardroom. And you can see that we have a daily accountability group right here. If you go inside the calendar, you can get help and support whenever you need it on a live call. We have 4 weekly coaching calls right here. And also inside the classroom, you can see that you can go from complete beginner to expert with AI automation, and you can learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, you can get my best playbooks on automations for X, for newsletters, for emails, for shorts, for avatar videos. You can personally DM me. It's the only place in the world that I personally DM people and reply to people's DMs. And then also you can, for example, get our course on how to get more clients. You can watch back the coaching calls if you can't watch them live. You can learn how to rank #1 inside AI search engines and Google itself. I've shown you examples of how to do that with Clawdbot today. And then also you can see that we've got a full 6-week roadmap on exactly how to master, scale, and grow and get customers with YouTube too, based on what's working for me, right? This is all stuff that I personally implement and learn, and I just share with the world like we've done today. All right. So feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It's available. Link in the comments description, or go to aiprofitboardroom.com. Appreciate you watching. See you on the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.